What's up, Axiom? How are ya? Julia Davis here. Today is Good Friday. What jumped out to me that I wanted to share with you today was some of Jesus's final words on that day when he was on the cross. And there's a few that he says, but the one I want to just unpack a little bit here today is it's three words to us, but it's actually one Greek word. But when we translate it, it's "it is finished." So we find these words in John 19, verses 28 through 30, and that reads, "Later, knowing that everything had now been finished, and so that Scripture would be fulfilled, Jesus said, 'I am thirsty.' A jar of wine vinegar was there, so they soaked a sponge in it, put the sponge on a stalk of the hyssop plant, and lifted it to Jesus' lips. When he had received the drink, Jesus said, 'It is finished.' With that, he bowed his head and gave up his spirit." When Jesus says on the cross, "It is finished," in Greek, it's tetelestai. I hope I say that right. I'm not Greek, so tetelestai. And so when he says that on the cross, really they call it perfect tense when he says it. And so the perfect tense means past completed act with present effect, emphasizing that the past completed event of Christ's death on the cross has ongoing, even permanent effects. Jesus' sacrifice may have occurred in time and space, but its results will last for eternity. In other words, when Jesus declared, "It is finished," he was saying that his mission to redeem sinners had reached its intended goal, and that the benefits to the redeemed would last throughout eternity. Like, oh my goodness. And in this season of time, I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but so many of us have been hearing, "It is finished." It's all these things that we've prepared for, that we were walking in, that just came to a screeching halt and kind of hit us in the face, right? And for some of us, there's been an even greater loss. A lot of us have experienced the loss of someone we love and someone that was in our life, and their life, we've heard, "It is finished," and there's these moments of not being able to say goodbye. And so it comes with this mix of emotions right now. But as I got to thinking about all these "it is finished," and then Good Friday and Easter, and what this weekend means, amongst all of the "it is finished" for us, I just really wanted to reverse it and shift this perspective and focus on this phrase when Jesus says it, when he says tetelestai, when he says, it's not just in the past and present that I came to do this good work and I finished it. It's good for you forever. It goes on into eternity. And I saw all the things that were going to happen, and I did it anyway. And I nailed sin to the cross when I was nailed to the cross too. And he saw it and he still finished it. And so I just wanted to bring a little bit of a positive perspective. Like, Jesus is still rolling stones. So on Easter, the stone rolled away. I love the song by Lauren Daigle. She's one of my favorite artists, and her song, "He's Still Rolling Stones." Like, in our lives, he's still taking these things that would be in the darkness, in the tomb, dead in the tomb for us. And if we believe in Jesus and the hope that the cross brings, and in our lives, then he can roll those stones away and bring light into those dark places. And it's in our past, it's in our present, and it's for us in our future. And when it's Good Friday and we look forward to Easter and what that day and Jesus' resurrection means for us in our lives, and when we believe it, and like I talked to you guys last in March about living in the fullness of who God is and who he created you to be, it's like so exciting, right? And this phrase, "it is finished," when we understand the fullness of what Jesus did on the cross for us and the fullness of the impact that that has for us, it doesn't mean you go on and you just live and you just do things and you just live foolishly and make foolish choices and just lean into this promise that's made for us. But when we believe it and we know it and we grow in that fullness of understanding of who God is and the fullness of what a sentence like "it is finished" means for us, when we grow in that understanding, then our desire of our heart changes. It changes us, and we desire to be different. We desire to be changed. We desire to live life out for Him. And then God comes along and He changes our hearts. And hopefully He can change our perspective in certain situations. So that's my prayer for you guys today, is that you dig into the promises that Jesus made, what this weekend means, what Sunday means after this day. And that you rest in that and rest in Him. And maybe that in some of these circumstances that feel dark and feel like maybe you've been put in a tomb, that you would see that Jesus Christ and our God rolls stones away and brings light into those places, and the celebration and the joy and the victory in our circumstances that comes from that truth and that hope. So that is my prayer for you today. And I miss you guys. I love you guys. And I hope to see you real soon. Love you.